Hey guys, welcome back to Grounded Life Finances. We are Allie and Rob, and today we are sharing our full-time travel and early retirement budgets in various countries. So what that looks like in a variety of countries. So let's talk some numbers. This is a finance channel.
Yeah, we have spent an extensive amount of time living for months on end in most of these countries, actually all of these countries, and they are great choices. We're going to give you some of our favorites, what it would cost you. And, you know, we started doing this, I think, years ago. We were watching, as many people do, the old show, House Hunters International. And we would see the prices they would put up there and be like, is that real? Could you really live for that there? And we're like, oh, let's go find out. So we did, and now we're here to tell you it is real. So if you've ever seen that and wondered, yeah, it's real. So we're going to start with Colombia, and it's one that not many people think of to go to, but it is a beautiful country. People are wonderful, and
don't even get us started talking about the food there. My gosh.
Yeah, there are some other big advantages to Colombia. It's closer and cheaper to fly to from the United States. You're on the same time zone as the United States.
That can be a really big deal to some.
And so that will depend on, you know, if you need to keep in touch with people. But as far as the budget goes in Colombia, we usually end up staying for about a month, and it ends up costing us about $1,500 per month. Now, we're talking about, in all of these countries, we're talking about kind of a luxurious high-rise. That's kind of what we normally stay in, except for in Europe. And just with like pools and amenities and gyms, and this is an everything included number. It includes HOA, water, gas, electric, internet.
Close to transportation or walkable to things like grocery stores and shopping and anything that we might need.
And also with a beach view if there is that in the area
that's
that we're in.
pretty high on my list.
So both of these Colombia ones that we've been to were beach views and just really nice places. You're looking at about $1,500 per month for housing, and this is basically renting it through Airbnb. And if you want to do that longer term, like actually stay one of these places for a year, you get a lot cheaper rate getting a lease. But we don't generally do that because we're happy moving around for now. So with that said, that's what that's going to cost you, and that includes almost everything, because you don't have a car, you won't have any house expenditures.
Your internet will be included. You've got a full kitchen already set, so it's not like you have to buy anything for that. And you've got, secure building. You've got, like you said, all the amenities, like usually a gym and a pool and a nice view either of the city or of a beach, depending on where we are. And things like Wi-Fi and electricity. That's really a lot. It covers a lot.
So really, Colombia is a little bit different, because in Colombia, when you get one of these buildings, they generally do come with a housekeeper. So that will be an additional expense, but that's going to be about $500-600 a month, but that's going to be a person that comes and cleans every day, comes and cooks you a meal every day. You can get how many days you want. We generally did 1 or 2 times per week, but that would be all that included. They'll go shopping for you. So that's really quite inexpensive. And then your groceries are still going to be quite inexpensive.
Very inexpensive, and just a variety of things available at the local grocery stores, of things that you can buy. So you can still kind of cook meals if you miss home cooking or whatever, food from America, and you want to cook that, you can. They have a lot of those things available too, which is nice.
Yeah. Routinely in Colombia, we would order food online, have it from a restaurant, have it delivered, and it would be way more food than we thought, because the prices just don't add up. It's like you're paying $6, but it feeds 4 people. How does this compute? So we would end up with food for 12 people because
we'd end up having to freeze some of the food because we felt bad throwing it out. So we just freeze it and save it for like the following week or something until we figure it out. We can't order that much stuff because it's going to be a lot of food, and it always was. And the delivery service fees are almost non-existent. For service fee like your DoorDash and your Uber Eats in the U.S., they have different service there. It's Rappi, and I think the delivery fee on most of them was generally around 50 cents to $1. If the restaurant was really far away, they might charge you like $2.50, but that's really like mind-boggling to be able to order delivery food for that little. I mean, you felt so bad getting it delivered for that little that you would, tip the drivers really well.
Yeah. So then we also got we had someone that would come in and do massages for you in the apartment, and that was about $9 to $10 an hour for that. So just to give you an idea, all in, I think we generally would spend about $3,000 a month in Colombia. And that is living about as high as we could.
Pretty luxuriously.
There's not much else we could do. So,
pretty much doing it all.
Second place on our list, which is actually our favorite place on the list, is Thailand. And
more than our favorite, it's the place we kind of call our second home.
It is. It is. There are so many options in Thailand, but we're just going to start with Bangkok and then several beach places. But this last time we were in Bangkok, I think our apartment was about $700 a month. And I think this next time we're going, it's about $1,100 a month. So, that's your range. That's all included. And that's getting a real nice one-bedroom apartment in a modern high-rise with a pool, security. Not that you need security.
You don't really need it.
But that is an all-in price. And, she was talking about the delivery fees. Well, last time we were in Thailand, I joined there's a service there called Food Panda, and I joined that service. I actually got the Food Panda Pro, which meant you got free.
Which is the same as like the what are they?
Uber One.
The Uber One,
Uber
or like
Eats,
the DoorDash, pass. Like getting one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got the Food Panda Pro, and it gave me free food deliveries for the month. I think I got like 15 of them for the month. Well, I was like, I don't know how much this is, but I'm just going to do it because I figured it wouldn't be much. I went and looked at the bill afterwards because it was in bahts, and I didn't really convert it on the fly.
In Thai bahts, yeah.
But it ended up being like $1.30 for the membership. So I think the each delivery cost about 9 cents. So that was pretty good, and we were getting full meals delivered for pretty much less than $10 all the time.
And you can actually get groceries delivered through that app as well.
Yeah.
As like cooked food or food from the grocery.
So our budget, we do go. There are a lot of massage places in Thailand. That's kind of their thing, and it's great. When you're not there, you start to miss it.
Like right now.
But those are they basically run about $6 an hour, and then so that kind of gives you an idea of what you're spending. You're spending $1,000 on your housing generally, $6 every time you go get a massage. Not much on food. I think your SIM cards are $15 a month. So you're pretty easily at $2,500 or less there. You could definitely spend more, but you really don't need to. Because the thing about Thailand is not only do they have that stuff, but they have super duper high-end places too. So if you want to go out for a nice anniversary dinner, you could go somewhere and drop some money.
A lot more, yeah.
But you don't have to.
You really do not have to do that at all, and still get luxury high-end stuff for so little. It's almost blows your mind.
Now, the next one on the list is Vietnam, and surprisingly, the housing in Vietnam is a little bit more. We're generally going to spend between $1,200 to $1,800 a month on the housing there, and the reason for that is because, well, I think that there's just more of a premium on those locations. The expats that are there kind of gobble them up, and so they can charge a little bit more price for that. But as far as everything else goes in Vietnam, it is quite inexpensive. I remember when we were talking to some people in Thailand and told them we're going to Vietnam, they told us, oh, it's very inexpensive there. And so they were telling us it's inexpensive, and we already thought it was inexpensive where we were, so it's double inexpensive in Vietnam. And that's the thing is, a lot of these places, we're trying to keep that budget at about $3,000 a month. If you can go, you go over that sometimes, you go under that sometimes, but that's basically a budget
in the
end. So moving on, next one is Italy, which is your favorite.
Italy is another one of my favorites. I love Italy. I actually have studied Italian for a couple of years now, getting pretty decent at it, I guess. And just really love everything about it. Love the culture, love the people, love the food, and of course love the language. Yeah.
So in Italy, it's still kind of inexpensive.
Shockingly, really.
Yeah, if you're in Rome, it'll be the most, but you're looking $1,500 to $2,000 a month. But in the non-Rome areas, you're looking at around $1,000 a month, and you can do pretty well for yourself there. We recently stayed in Monopoly,
which is in the south, in the Puglia region,
and we did end up getting a really good deal on that. And the lady that rented it to us told us, this is a really good deal.
She even said, this is a really good deal.
So we probably wouldn't get that deal again, but you never know. So it only takes one. That's the thing. It only takes one good deal, and you have a good deal. But we rented a 3-story house overlooking the water there for about $800 a month.
Yeah, that was wild. It was beautiful, right in the center of the old city, right near the wall, like you said, with those gorgeous views, a private veranda up on the balcony. It was really an amazing experience to stay in an old city like that. And like you said, we got a deal at the $800 a month, but honestly, it would be worth whatever she's charging now, because it's a beautiful spot and a beautiful place. And it was so great to kind of be, it's not a huge tourist area for like Americans. It's a kind of a tourist area for other Europeans to come in. So you see some of them coming in sometimes on the weekends, but it's such a beautiful town that you really get that feel of, I'm living in a little Italian village, and you got to know the people in the town. I remember when we were leaving, as we were walking out of town, the guy that I bought all the vegetables, fruit and vegetables from, that I practiced my Italian with, I went to see him probably 2-3 times a week. He stopped and gave us a hug on the way out of town. It was the sweetest thing, but we really enjoyed our time there. So talk to me about some numbers there.
Yeah, Italy is cheaper than the United States. There's no doubt about that. Your housing is going to be cheaper. Everything else is going to be cheaper. Pizza's cheaper. You can get a full pizza for €6, which is...
And you think that it's going to... Again, this is another problem that we had, like we did in Colombia, is we thought, oh, that pizza's only $5. Well, that's going to be like a personal-sized pizza. That can't be like for the two of us to share. So we'll order 2 of them. No, well, they were full-size pizzas. And we ended up having to take like a whole pizza with us because it was they were so big. But yeah, and obviously pasta is incredible. I mean, just it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So for Italy, we budget $3,000 to $4,000 a month because you're going to spend a little more there. You're going to do some things. You're going
to go out and eat and enjoy the food there a lot.
Yeah. So let's move on to Canada. Oh, Canada.
All right. Oh, Canada.
Canada, we like Canada. We like to go there, see some hockey. And the housing is more in Canada than these other places. It's more like the U.S. But you can do Toronto for $2,000 a month. We recently did Edmonton. It was more than that, but it was Christmas month. Christmas month, when you're doing this lifestyle, has got to be very strategic because almost everyone charges more for Christmas.
Because almost everybody celebrates Christmas around the world. So it's hard to get that one. Like, you can get away with Easter in some places like Thailand or, whatever. Although we have done Easter in Rome, in Italy before, which was a little bit crazy, but we made it work. But, you can just kind of... But what else about Canada?
Yeah, so Canada, you're looking at $2,000 to $3,000 if you're doing it like that a month to get something really nice. Like we want to be like right downtown in these cities and be able to walk to everything because you don't want to get a car. Renting a car is like the worst thing you can do, because rent a car for a month, that's exorbitant. So you
Yeah.
really need to be near transportation, near the downtown, and so 2,000 to 3,000 is what we're spending a month in Canada. And the food is more than these other countries, but still less than the United States.
Right.
So you're really looking more like 5,000 a month to live in Canada, which is still good, but it's definitely not something that we do every month.
Right. We've not ever done it for more than a month, because it is a little bit on the higher end. So we don't want to do too many of those, because then it messes up essentially the budget for the rest of the year.
Right.
It pushes you into, going to countries where you're going to spend a lot less. Not that you don't want to go to them, but you don't have as many choices then.
Yeah, you kind of back yourself into a corner.
Right.
Just like this next one will, but it's also something fun you can do, and that is live for a month on cruise ships. And we're about to do that in 2 weeks. So we're doing 2 transatlantic cruises. We're just sailing from the U.S. to Europe, then the next day sailing from the Europe back to the U.S. So that's going to be a month on. It's like 14 and 15 days each. That's like $4,000, but by the time you do tips and pay for the internet, we expect it'll be about $5,000. So that's still doable if you're not doing it every month.
Yes, but when you think about it, that is your transportation, your entertainment, food, housing. You don't have to clean, because they come and clean at least 1 time a day, sometimes twice, which is still too much. That's everything all in one. And you get to go to different places.
Yeah.
So while all of that is being provided, you're still moving from place to place. So you don't have to unpack every day.
Yeah, so $5,000 a month for that. It's still way less than we were paying in Atlanta to live before we did this, and probably less than many of you are paying right now to live where you are. So that is not a bad deal. Which brings us to our last destination, which is the USA. And this is the hardest thing to do, is to live in the USA month by month, because it is exorbitantly expensive. And as you know, we come back from being overseas, and every time we come back, it's like, that's how much? Like, it's sticker shock every year. Because the prices just go up. I was like, that's...
Well, not even if the prices go up, it's just you forget how much you pay for stuff here, and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, how much do you want for a soda at a restaurant? When you go from paying 50 cents in a restaurant for a soda to paying $3.50 or more in the U.S., you're just like, whoa, why is it so much? It's like, oh wait, that's normal here. You just kind of forget. You have to get used to it again.
Yeah. So our budget really isn't. We're in actually. We did the worst thing possible. We're in New York City for the budget. We're here for a month. We just wanted to do it, and we saved some money in other places, and we saved to do this. So
we saved in some other spots to be able to do this.
But generally, when we're in the U.S., we have a lot of people that want us to come visit them. So that's at least a month. That's basically free. So we can do something like New York City for the other month. That we're here.
Yeah, we stayed with family for about a month between our 2 kids and both sets of our parents that we're fortunate enough to have. We go see everybody. We basically stay with all of them. So that's free housing right there, which is nice. And, we have friends that offer all the time also for us to stay with them as well. So we're always willing to do that. You just don't want to, be asking people all the time. There are obviously lots of other things you can do to offset that. There's people who do like van life, which we've done, or like RV and all that kind of stuff to kind of bring the cost down. But you kind of have to look at all the numbers there.
Yeah, now we do try to stay in some low season places. Like we went to Myrtle Beach and stayed for 2 months right on the beach, and it was about $1,900 a month. That's
but it was
in.
half price what it would be in the summer.
That was all in too, though. We couldn't live in Atlanta for $1,900 a month the way we were living. So it is still actually cheaper, but way more than what you would be doing in some other countries. So when you get right down to it, this is what you've got to do to figure out if you can live this type of lifestyle, because you want to have the income to cover this and not worry about it. And you got to figure out which countries you can do that in. It's generally not going to be Europe or Norway or Iceland or those kind of things. Although you could live in Italy and some parts of Spain rather inexpensively.
Right.
But you just have to figure out what'll work for you. We encourage you to research these. We're going to have more videos about some of these and just cost of living in different places to help you out and figure out where you could live on your budget.
Yeah, so lots more coming your way here on Grounded Life Finances. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel to get those videos. And you can also turn on the notification bell. So click that and sign up for notifications and you'll get an alert whenever we release a new video. Give us a like if you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, leave those below in the comment section. We'll be answering those and also possibly be using them for future videos.